Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of uranium. I didn't say Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, I said uranium. So I got it this time, but we've got behind me the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. I'll give you my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. We're going to dive in here. I'll let the charts do the talking. Here we go. So we've got the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust here. We've broken to the upside here. Nice, good move. And we're at this resistance area. We're at resistance. There's a lot of resistance previously up here, and we're getting into some stickiness up here. No different. Well, actually, yeah. We got resistance, resistance, and then the face. There you go. See? Smiley face with a nose in the middle. There you go. If I were to zoom in on the right-hand side, let's do a 5-day candlestick. I drew this in yesterday. I said we got to break through it. Looks like we did a little bit of break in there. When we came back down, the resistance is strong. Will this go lower? I don't know. We'll find out next week. Again, I don't like trying to get in the prediction game. What I want to see is, is this a good buying opportunity right here? I don't know. I mean, I probably wouldn't be a buyer right here, but, it's hard to say. I like buying where, in these corners where they break. Because then if you bought in here, you're at an $11 price, and now you're at 14, sitting on a pretty good gain, riding it higher. Because this could come back down like this and then move again at kind of this support area. Looking at URNM, small little update. Again, we're at resistance. There's your resistance line drawn across for URNM. And again, guys, this is a small bloody nose almost. We're at resistance. This could go either way. I mean, we could blow through here and break from that resistance area. Highly depends on what the physical price of uranium does. And we're getting a real mixed bag on the companies themselves, because they're kind of indifferent. But I mean, on some of these companies, I like where we're at. This is a good spot for Bannerman. If you like Bannerman, this is a great buying opportunity these past 2 days, in my opinion. It's breaking higher. Everything looks good for Bannerman. Goviax, GVXXF, another one that's broken out of its trend line. It's right on its double support lines. I'd be a buyer, in this section right there. I like it there. And we're coming on up. We're trying to get a little bit of resistance through here. And I think it'll eventually make its way up. Global Atomic is regathering itself. We've hit our head twice. And the lows are coming on up. This low didn't come back as far. We hit our head, came back, regathered, hit our head, came back. And now we're going to probably grind sideways maybe for a little bit. And then we'll see if it's game time. Forsys, may the forsys be with everybody. This is Forsys Metals, FOSYF. If it can load, and we're coming up on the resistance. May the forsys break the resistance. There's your resistance line coming through here, and that's what we got to attack. We got to break through that. We've got Pierpoint Uranium, PT, UUF. And this guy's just been bouncing sideways between support and resistance. So, we just got to get the buyers step in and buy. Deep yellow, again, we're at the bottom of its chart here. This is a good spot to be buying. And we're just coming up a little bit off that support line. Paladin's up against its resistance. Right on it. It's grinding on it. We'll see what happens. Sky Harbor, again, every time we go above where I drew this, we got lots of selling pressure. We still have that selling pressure over here. And we can do like a little fun guy out of this, with a smiley face or a mouth. But it's just got a little bit of selling pressure up there that we got to get through. Canalaska's sitting on top of its area for support. It's a cheetah in the making. This one looks really good from a long-term perspective. Here's the long term on it. We've got this line coming down, and we're sitting right on top of it. That's exactly where you want to be. It's about to run at some point. Next Gen Energy, nice little update today. Again, I like Next Gen Energy quite a bit, and I'm just going to be sitting in it. Baseload Energy, another one that I think looks good to move on up. We just have to be patient as it works its way higher. Fission 3.0 getting a little bit more selling pressure. I'm not adverse to buying it either, because long-term wise, we've got the downtrend line break. And we're just kind of coming up into some resistance through here. And it's basically forming probably a cup and handle pattern, potentially up here. And it doesn't even matter what the name of the pattern is. It just has resistance there that we have to break through. A lot of these do. Fission. This is the OG fission. We're right at that resistance line. Everything's at resistances. So we got to break through these things. And Camco's at resistance as well. I'm surprised it closed where it did. It's right on its resistance line. Kazatomprom looks like it's starting to come back a little bit. Joint stock company, National Atomic Company, Kazatomprom. Geez, it's a long name. Right at resistance as well. May the resistance break. Now, Penn MF is sitting right on top of everything with the bullish engulfing. That one looks good. Peninsula Energy looks good, guys. Boss Energy, still a little bit of a down day. I think they had to raise some money. They need to finance their project. A little bit of a down day. Consolidated Uranium, just a sideways move. Again, at resistance. We are all at the resistance. Lotus Resources coming on up. Probably going to do a little cup and handle type deal. Uranium Royalty Corporation. Looks like it's trying to break through it. Nice, strong finish. That one actually looks quite good. Encore Energy. We're right at that resistance line, guys. We got to break it. We're right there. Coming on up. You got what I need, right? Looks good, guys. We're sitting on top of the resistance support area. Now we just got to get moving. URG, a little bloody nose out of URG. That's usually a continuation pattern for a move higher. UEC, another little bloody nose, continuation pattern move higher. LEU, this one does look like it could potentially do a little bit of sideways action before moving higher. Lightbridge, man, this is kind of tough. We have kind of a good pullback here. I don't know which way this guy's going. It's a tough one to read, guys. What I would do is I'd do nothing. ISO Energy, another one. See, some of these are tough. We get this nice big drive. You get this kind of move, and then we contract up, and it makes me think that we're going to do a couple more sideways movements before potentially heading higher. Appia is sitting on top of the pattern. That's exactly where I like to buy. Appia Energy there. DNN broke through the resistance. Just hold on, guys. Hold on. Denison Mines is also sitting on top of a long-term resistance line going across here. Says price needed a lot of buyers to break through the resistance line because of those previous transactions all done at these ones. So that one's looking good. Blue Sky Uranium. This guy's putting in that big pattern, the double booty bottom, ready to break higher. Forum Energy Metals. Yeah, I need to get off this long term because everything looks good to me on the long term. A little bit of selling pressure today. It's dark cloud cover is what we call it. It still looks pretty good. I like it down in this general vicinity. Anfield just moving sideways today, down a little bit on this. A little bloody nose is what we call it. It's a continuation pattern usually. Laramide getting a little more selling pressure. We could bounce back a little bit before heading higher. It's a bearish engulfing pattern. Western Uranium Vanadium Corp. This is a big selling pressure. We could see this kind of bounce back lower. UEXCF, another one that looks like it wants to go sideways. Little bloody nose. I mean, it could go higher. Tough to say, guys. And some of these, I don't like these big down days like that because if you kind of come up and they want to bounce again or a couple times, more sideways action. What I want to see is a bunch of large up candlesticks and small selling pressure because that means that we're going to go higher. But the sellers are still there. They're still whomping us on the head. There's a big, strong selling pressure day there, and I don't see the buyer stepping in yet in any meaningful quantity there. ALXEF tried running, didn't, but it failed. Some sellers came in. We've got Azincourt here. A nice little pop higher, 8.26%. It is coiling on up in this corner here on the right-hand side. And then Valor Metals, another one that I think looks good chart-wise. We broke out to the upside, and we're just kind of hanging out up here. Again, I'll just repeat this again, guys. I'm not doing anything with my shares. I cost average in, I buy a little bit here and there, and then I just sit in it. It's that simple. The uranium to gold price is incredibly cheap. There's no point for me to try to time this stuff on the infinite. These things move so fast. They can move so quick that if they break, it's like two plates that were hung up on each other, like they were connected like this or something. And then all of a sudden, you get this pressure that builds. And then that pressure builds, and when that hook releases, it just goes. Sometimes stocks act like that. I think all of the conditions are favorable for commodities to go higher. And some of these were just tapping up against resistance the entire time. And once that resistance gives way, we'll see what happens to price. It could be a very large move. So the way that I view it is I get a position, I hold on to it, I find my favorite companies, I keep piling into it, and then I just wait for that pressure and that resistance and stuff to break. That's my plan. And that's what I do under favorable market conditions. If the market conditions weren't favorable, I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be hitting our head on resistance trying to break through some wall. It wouldn't be doing that price action if we didn't want to go higher. If we were going lower, we would be rolling over and hitting a support line and tapping the support line the entire time. But we're tapping up against a ceiling. We're testing it. We're seeing if we can break through it. And eventually, it will break through. If you guys like the analysis, give me a thumbs up. If you guys like the channel, definitely subscribe. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.